Hello everyone, my name's Cliff and welcome back to my channel. This is Cliff's Dark Gems. And if you're new here, I hope you enjoyed the video. Welcome. And tonight, we're going to talk about my channel plans and my reading goals for 2025. So stay tuned. Okay, so this video is going to be like in two parts. First of all, I'm going to talk about my channel plans, like kind of on a broad level. Just what am I keeping the same? What am I maybe changing slightly? What am I excited about? And then I'm going to look at some reading goals. What am I going to read? How am I going to read? How am I going to approach book reviews, things like that. Firstly, something I'll definitely be keeping the same is Fright Club, a book club that I started with Chris from Secrets Reads. We are the hosts. And we got a Discord, which I'm going to link down below. And every month we do a kind of a book of the month, depending on a subgenre, horror subgenre. We're reading Nosferatu for this month. Pop in and check us out. I'm also going to start a reread of The Dark Tower starting in January, and I'm going to put that on the Discord as well. So if you'd like to come, it'll be more like a soft read. I don't think we're going to have lives, but if you want to just come and join in and have a chat, non-spoiler chat, and just have fun in the Discord, I've got it linked down below. If you hear my dog panting in the background, it's because it's freaking hot. People, it's been unpleasantly hot today. We had to walk later in the evening. So if I'm sweating and I'm looking a bit uncomfortable, I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. Now, talking about Discord, I might as well mention social media. I'm not a big social media kind of person. And at the moment, Discord is kind of enough for me in terms of book clubs and kind of joining just popping into other people's Discords and saying hi. But I know that there's a lot of stuff that people are doing with books on phones, and I'm just not going to go there next year. It's not what I'm comfortable with. It's not what I'm comfortable with, and that's the way it's going to be. But one thing I really do want to start again next year is my lives, and I'm getting a Christmas gift, and I know it's going to change the face of my lives, where it's going to turn me from Frankenstein into Frankenfine. Well, I'm hoping it will anyway. And so then I can start doing lives more often. And join other people's lives and not look like a pasty zombie on camera. So I'm excited about doing more of that next year. Next up, we got buddy reads, readathons, group reads, all that kind of stuff. All that good stuff. Community, friendships. And I will still take part to a limited extent, because I do find it kind of stressful, especially in terms of choosing books that you want to read. And it's fun to read other stuff with friends. But sometimes for me it just gets a bit out of hand. So I will still read like maybe one or two books for a particular readathon and mention them and that kind of thing. But I'm going to be mostly taking part in reads with my club, and perhaps some buddy reads with some of my friends as well, and maybe do some lives with that as well. I also will be supporting Small Booktube. I will continue to support Small Booktube because it gives me some kind of joy. It makes me feel good, and I like to see those channels grow, especially channels that talk spooky content, because that's me. So that's something I'll continue doing next year. Okay, I want to turn specifically to reading goals now. The one social media that I am on consistently is Goodreads, because I like to keep track of my reading, the books that I've read. I can rate them and write small reviews. And also I can set myself a goal, the reading challenge at the beginning of the year. Now, it's interesting. I met my goal of 100 books. I'm on 103 books now. But it's a double-edged sword, this challenge, right? Because first of all, it motivates you. So on the positive side, it motivates you. And if you're on track, you feel good about yourself. And of course you feel good about yourself if you, let's say if you break it down and you want to read 10 books a month. You're going to feel great. Or 8 books, 9 books a month. That's great. But what if something happens in your life that just gets you completely off course? Then you're going to struggle. And then it's demotivating. And it's yeah. And it's kind of happened to me this year, even though I managed to read. But it's unnecessary stress to try and read that amount of books and kind of read a whole lot of short books to try and make up. It doesn't make sense to me. It's quality, people, and we all read at different speeds. We're all different, and really it should be quality over quantity. So I'm going to set myself a reasonable goal for next year. I'm going to say 80 books, even though I managed 100 already. And so if I make the goal by October, November, I'm quite happy with that. Because there have been a couple of months this year where I've only read like 5 or 6 books. And that happens. It happens. So I'm not going to put pressure on myself there. And you shouldn't either. My second goal is to read what I want to read. That makes me happy. And people, horror makes me happy. I like to read dark stuff. I like to read disturbing things. But every now and then, I can read out of my comfort zone, and I'm okay with that. So if I'm going to put up a pile of possibilities, which is what I'm getting in the kind of habit of doing now, and maybe put 12 books on the table at the beginning of the month, and say, okay, make 2 of those books, like one fantasy, maybe one sci-fi, or one adventure, and if I'm in the mood, I'll pick that up. But I want 90% of the reading that I do to be horror, or darker stuff. And that's another thing. I want to start reading more dark fantasy. Maybe grimdark, but go to dark first. And I'm thinking of rereading, I don't think it's here. Oh, here it is, Wee World. If you can see that. I'm thinking of doing a reread of Clive Barker's fantasy works, dark fantasy. Look at this gorgeous cover. And I've got a buddy in mind for that, but we will wait and see what happens there. But yeah, it's important to read what you want to read. I mean, that's the whole point, isn't it? To make yourself feel happy. Otherwise, what are we doing this for? Yeah. And my third reading goal is to take notes while I'm reading. Normally what happens is when I finish a book, I'll write down like just the basic, my thoughts, how I felt about it, whatever. Maybe some of the major stuff. I might write a short paragraph. But I don't take anything down while I'm reading the book. And I think if I take down some quotes, and if I take down just how I feel at particular points in the book, I don't annotate books. I just basically write stuff down on a pad. But that's good. And it might give rise to more thoughtful and stronger book reviews for all of you. And yeah, that's another thing. I want to do more book reviews. I want to concentrate on talking more in depth about the books that I love. And so I think what I will do as well is I'll look at the top 10, top 20 horror books of all time, in my opinion, and maybe do some in-depth reviews of those books. So that's kind of something important to me right now. I want to read new authors and a variety of different types of authors, whether it be LGBTQ, male, female. Just I want to read more extensively in terms of that. And I have been doing that this year. You know, I've been experimenting with all different kinds of horror and authors, weird fiction, but I want to continue doing that next month. So I think that's important. So yeah, it's good to hear different voices. And now that's another thing that I've struggled with, the idea of reading ARCs. Being in South Africa, I'm not going to get a free copy of the book. You know, it could take months to send it here. And I get a lot of emails. People sending me loads of emails saying, I'm emailing you a copy of the book. And I just get too many, and it gets frustrating because you want to read what you want to read. You want to put on your TBR what you want to put on your TBR. What you got on your shelf to be read. And what you got on your Kindle to be read. So when you get lots of kind of ARC propositions, whatever. I'm going to try and take it on next year. I'm not sure when, but I'm going to try and work it in. But at this stage I'm not really going to be doing any of that just yet. And finally, something that I've been neglecting, I want to continue with series and sequels that I've started, books that I've started in series, and I've got 3 in mind here in particular that excite me. In fact, there's 4, but I'm going to talk about the 3. Off Season by Jack Ketchum. That was a 5-star read for me. And there's 2 more books in the series with those delightful cannibals, so I want to read that next year. And then we got Gone to See the Riverman by Christopher Triana. And that's another book I absolutely love. And I have Gone the River of Flesh something, not sure. And I got that on my Kindle and I need to get to that next year. And then finally, The Drive-In by Joe Lansdale. Another one, I've got the sequels on my Kindle. And I love the first book. So yeah, I need to do that. I'm going to also read some longer books next year. Gonna get more into dark fantasy. If I do a Clive Barker, I reread. I mean, these are big books. These are big books. And I'm also going to read Stephen King, like Under the Dome, which is a massive book. And Desperation, which I've got down here somewhere as well. Because I want to continue on my Stephen King journey. I want to finish everything by him. And I said earlier this year that I want to read 1 book a month by him. That has not worked out. Because I've had other books from other stuff, from readathons and whatever. I really want to get to everything he's written. So I want to make that like a priority. But yeah, I hope you can join the Dark Tower, read along with me. Even if you're a constant reader and you've been on a visit to the Dark Tower. If you're planning on a reread, come stop by and have a chat, talk about it. It's nice and relaxing, it'll be a lot of fun. Okay everyone, so that's my video for tonight. What do you think of all my goals, my plans, my ambitions for 2025? Tell me what you're planning for next year. What are some of your reading goals? I'd love to hear from you down in the spaces below. And yeah, until next time, take care of yourselves, keep those pages turning, and cheers.